What's up, guys, and welcome to the Campbellcast Season 1, Episode 1, where our first topic will be winners at war. Now, I really liked Winners at War. I feel like we should get that out of the way. I think it was a great season, but I'm gonna talk about some of the negatives, also some of the positives, but let's get into it. So the first topic I have is, why did I pick Kim and Ben as my winner picks? A lot of people have been confused by this. I picked Kim because her win in One World was just downright frightening. There were people who chose not to vote her out because they liked her so much. And if that doesn't threaten you, I don't know what does. I really don't think, as much as people love Sabrina, no one had a chance to beat Kim, not even Sabrina. But also Ben. Now, both of my winner picks did well. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I messed up, but Ben was kind of out of left field, and a lot of people let me know that. But I liked my pick. I think that Ben was a good pick because out of all of the guys there, he, to me, seemed most likely to go far. I know a lot of people say he wouldn't have won his season if it weren't for his idols. But he found the idols. So I don't know why they're talking about this. No, he wouldn't have won if it weren't for the idols. Obviously he wouldn't have won if it weren't for the idols. That's like saying Parvati wouldn't have won Micronesia if Amanda picked Sari to go to the finale instead of her. Of course. But that is what happened. And of course Ben couldn't find idols when he needed them, and that's why he lost the game. But my question to you is, who cares? Who cares if Ben didn't have idols this time? He played a great game without them. He proved that he didn't need them. And sure, he needed them in Season 35, but this time he didn't. And I knew going into the season, he was going to play a great game with or without idols. And that is why I picked him, and that is why I picked Kim, two of the best one-time winners. Next up, I want to talk about Denise and Jeremy, two of the people that were most picked by fans everywhere for who they thought the winner would be. And I don't think these were bad picks, but, I mean, I can't be the only one who knew that these two weren't going to do well, right? I mean, maybe Denise and Jeremy did do well, but I knew Jeremy, for one, wouldn't have won. He is like Sarah Lucina and Amber and a couple others. He won against returning players, which works against him. That sees him as a bigger threat if he can win against people who have played before. You know, it's not something that you want. Yes, he has that experience, but that does not help him. And Denise. Denise is a good pick to win, but for some reason, everything in my heart told me otherwise. As much as I love Denise, everything in my heart told me that she was not going to win this season. Now, when they announced this season, I decided to make a list going from 20 to 1 of who I thought was least likely to most likely to win the season. And that's something I want to go over really quickly. I had Sandra at number 20, because for all I knew, Sandra could have made it to the final 3, but she was never going to win this season, and I think we all know that's true. Number 19 was Boston Rob. Same thing. They both have too much of a target on their back. No way were they going to win. Number 18 was Amber Mariano. I mean, people love Amber, but it's been so long since she played, I really didn't think she had a chance. And I'm sorry to say that, but I don't think she did. Number 17, Danny Boatwright. Danny's under-the-radar style was not going to work in Winners at War. Winners at War, I think we all knew going into the season was going to be bam, in your face, get ready, because we're playing, and we're doing it hard, and we're doing it now. So I didn't think her strategy for that would work well. At number 16, I believe, I have Adam Klein, because I love Adam, but when you see all of these players together, there are a couple names that stick out, and Adam is one of them, because I love Adam, and he's a good winner, but he, in my opinion, didn't stand a chance compared to some of these other players. At number 15, I had Ethan Zahn. I like Ethan a lot, and I really wish he did well, but it's been so long since he played, and I'm sure he's been so out of touch that I personally just didn't think he had a chance. I'm sorry. Sue me. I just didn't think he would have won. At number 14, I decided to put Sarah Lacina. Yes, this was not a good pick on my part, because I am not a big Lacina fan, but that's not why I put her here. I put her here because, like with Jeremy, she has won before against other players, but that also works to her disadvantage, especially because when she won in Game Changer, she was playing against former winners too, not just some people who had played once and lost once like Jeremy. Number 13, I put Michelle Fitzgerald. This I stand by because I love Michelle, but she was never, ever, ever going to win this season. I would have bet money that she made it to the final 3, which she did, but I thought there was no way she would win the season. Number 12, I put Wendell at number 12. I like Wendell, I do, but I just don't think there's anyone in Winners at War that he would have formed that Dominic bond with that brought him to the final 2. I'm not saying Dominic brought him to the final 2. He earned his way there, but it was mainly in part on both of their ends due to their relationship with the other one, and I don't think either of them would have made it to the finale without the other. Number, I think, 12. This is where I had Mr. Tony. Tony. I thought going into the season that Tony wouldn't stand a chance. Because as much as people like Tony, I think he would do some game changer stuff. I think he would just go too crazy too quickly and get out. But he proved me wrong, and especially on the first episode, I knew I was going to be wrong when he said he would lower their expectations before he struck, which is awesome, and I'm glad he did that. At number 11, I had Natalie Anderson. I do not like Natalie. This is not why I put her at number 11, but I just want to say that I do not like Natalie. I personally find her annoying, and I don't think as physically capable as she is, she wasn't going to win the season, and I really, really thought that. And She was awesome on the edge of extinction. But I still don't think she could have won the season. I mean, maybe. I think that the only way she wins the season is if she's in the final three with like based on like that finale episode. I think the only way she makes it to the final three is against like Michelle and Ben, and that's it. Okay, I believe we are on our top 10. Oh, I believe this is... Okay, I'm sorry for that. I think that we are on number 9. I lost count. I don't have a list with me. At number 9, that is where I had Yule. I personally love Yule, and I thought he was so good in Cook Islands, but I also thought that people would see him as too much of a threat for him to make it too far in the game, which they did, and it really hurt when they eliminated him. At number 8. Number 8 is where I decided to put Tyson. Tyson is a good player, but when they did his winter edit in Blood vs. Water, I hope you all know that they did make him seem way nicer than he was, because Tyson is a mean player. He was on the villain's tribe for a reason, and I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. And I think that it would just shine too brightly with Tyson, and he would go home. Number 7. This number 7 spot is where I put Parvati Shallow. I think out of all the old schoolers, Parvati had the best chance to win. Because she's got something to play for now, you know? She's got a family, and she's got people who care about her. But also, she's leaving behind her past that she had going into the game, and I thought that if people were able to see that going into Winners at War, then they would keep her around, and I was wrong, and people didn't see that, but I thought it was a good guess. At number 6 is where I put Jeremy Collins. I already explained why, because he played against winners and that works against him, so I'm gonna move on to number 5. I have Nick Wilson. I thought that Nick had the 5th best chance at winning because he was the most recent winner, so he would fly under the radar, and yes, this could be used against him, but I don't really think it could have. I mean, yeah, he's the most recent winner, but who cares? He was so good at flying under the radar in this season, and in his season, I think he could have used it for his advantage. At number 4, let's just recap who we have left. We have Ben, Denise, Kim, and Sophie. Number 4 is where I put Denise. I like Denise a lot, but I don't think she would have won the season. She is just too popular among people to go far, and I hate that that's a reason, but it is, and because of that, I didn't have her at number 1. Granted, I thought she stood a very good chance to win, but hey. We all know who's going to be number 3. It's Sophie Clark. I thought Sophie played a great game in South Pacific, but on top of that, I thought she could evolve her game enough so that she would be in contention to win this season. And I was correct. She did not win the season, but I think she stood a great chance overall, and I'm proud of the pick I made with her. Ben and Kim, who that I have at number 1 is Kim. I thought Kim would be the best because of her play in One World and just how dominant and incredible she was at playing. That Ben, as much as I love him, I think that the only person he wouldn't have been able to beat was Kim. Now, obviously my opinions changed during the season, but I don't mind the picks I made, and I stand by the picks I made, and you can disagree with me, and that's okay. Alright, I want to move on to my next topic, Tony's immunity win. Immunity wins, plural. When Tony played in Cagayan, he didn't win immunity a single time, which I find utterly disrespectful. Tony is an incredible player, and you just didn't win, which sucks. But then when he came to Winners at War, he went crazy. He won 4 immunities when he needed to the most, and he crushed it. He absolutely crushed it, and I am so proud of him. Those, legitimately, I don't know if he would have as strong of a case to win if he didn't have those immunities. So, yeah, I think it was, fun to see him do well. And I don't know, I thought it was good, and I thought he stood a legitimate chance to win, mainly because of his immunity wins. Now, obviously, that's not all he did, but I don't know. I really, really liked his play, and man, if anyone else won that season, I would have been shocked. Which brings me to my early contenders list. Peridium has a thing where he does something similar, but this is different, and I liked it. I liked what Peridium did, and that inspired me to make my own thing, where I looked at the preseason contenders. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me continue. About a vote or two into the season, thought about who I thought stood a good chance to win the season, and that's something I want to go over now. I thought the first person I thought stood a good chance to win was, the first person I thought stood a good chance to win after a vote or two was Yule. Yule was crazy in the early game. I really thought he would do really well, and I'm proud of him. The next person I have is Sophie Clark. Sophie, after she found her idol, she made an alliance with Sarah. She was in such a good spot, and those two happened to have an alliance together. So, that was good. Next person I had as a good mid-season contender, Tony Vlachos, of course. He ended up winning the season, and I saw what I wanted to see out of him at the beginning. He knew he had to take his time, and that's what he did. Next person I had was Sarah Lucina. I like Sarah Lucina, and I thought she stood I don't like Sarah Lucina, but I thought she stood a good chance to win, which was not sad. I mean, I'm not actively rooting against anyone, you know? It's just weird to think about, you know? Next up, and my final person I will mention for now, I thought midway through the season, I thought that Jeremy was in a good spot to win. That turned out to be false, because although he did well, he did not win the season, and I really did think from the bottom of my heart that he did, so that kind of sucks. Alright. Next person, not next person. Next thing I want to talk about is my frustration with the beginning of the game. They took out every old school player. Some people I talked to, they liked it. They thought it was like a passing of the torch. No! Yes, I would have been fine with a passing of the torch where a new player wins, a new school player wins, but no, that's not what I wanted to see. What I wanted to see was a slugfest between new school and old school at the merge, battling for numbers. I wanted to see them go head to head, and I didn't. I was sorely mistaken for thinking that would happen. I just was incorrect, and I'm upset about that. They took out all of the early players. They took out all of They took out all of the old school players so quick, and that was so upsetting. I was not happy about it at all. Not at all. Natalie Anderson on the edge of extinction. Like? Dislike? Like. I thought she was great. Natalie was there for the longest time, so people attribute that to why she got back in the game. No! She spent all of her coins on the merge Edge of Extinction challenge, and she lost. Nothing against her for losing, but then what she did was she got 1 million more fire tokens and came back at the final 6. That's so impressive, and I am so proud of Natalie Anderson for what she did on the Edge of Extinction. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch, and I had a good time. Now, in my opinion, Edge of Extinction still should have never, ever, 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 ever been involved in Winners at War. But being that it was, and there was nothing we could do about it, I think that they executed it properly without it being too bad. Anyway, guys, I think that's gonna do it for Season 1, Episode 1 of the Dwarfcast. For Season 1, Episode 1 of the Campbellcast. Rolling in at about 25 minutes. If you guys like this, please consider a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Peace out.